Brookfield Station is a 456 effective hectare sheep and beef operation in Gisborne that's been managed by Hamish Newman for 20 years. In 2010, Hamish and his wife Paula won the Gisborne Wairoa Hill Country Farmer of the Year award and are currently participating in the FarmX benchmarking system.
Hamish is part of our discussion group. We've been involved with him with the monitor farm, and he's also doing FarmX. We benchmark financial and physical results every year. In our benchmarking system we have over 100 farms, and Hamish is consistently in the top 10%. As part of one of our discussion groups, we went to Hawke's Bay and looked at some different cell grazing systems with beef and things, and after that trip Hamish came back and just got into doing it on a lot steeper hills than what we saw, but it's actually working. He's benchmarked against all the farms in FarmX in his farm class, so his conversion of feed to meat is very good.
The property's made up of 3 different parts, a third of it flat, third rolling country and third steep. The business is mainly made up of bull beef with breeding ewes, and then we also do a bit of lamb trading when grass gets away a bit, and we do heifers for the dairy market as well as a sideline. We're driven by money really. We're farming the bulls because they're not pretty for the country and they're not pretty to go and work, but they make the money. One good thing about FarmX is that it gives you an overview of the whole operation, and if we can look to make more per hectare by changing our stock classes, we'll do it. We're a bit more proactive as far as our river's concerned, and we haven't been told to fence off the river yet, but it's something that we're doing voluntarily. These bulls are running mobs of 40 to 36, rotating around 18 cells consisting of 1 hectare. They are wintered like that. We've got 370 odd big bulls that we run like this. The smaller ones, the yearlings, will just run in block areas where they've only got 4 paddocks where they rotate around on some of the more steeper country. Normally we're buying them around that 350 mark, and then we normally start killing at 40 odd kilos carcass and then just dropping, but most of the time we're just looking at the schedule to see how fast we drop. We'd have about a third of them arrive as 100 kilos, and the other 2/3 are bought in from yearlings through to 18 months. We don't hold on to anything longer than a 2-year-old. When it's running into that R3 stage, they go on a truck regardless. We get the heifers in at 100 kilos and they go in 18 months' time. The major thing is actually getting them in calf for us. We find it's pretty easy here, but we still have to actually work on that weight going to the bull. We do supplement them with a bit of palm kernel just to make sure we're going to hit that target weight, that we've really set. We can run them in bigger mobs. They groom the country a lot better than the bulls where they just pick away. Probably more the size of the mob we can use. We can run up to 100 of them in a mob, no sweat. This is the main engine room of the farm. We fatten a lot of bulls off here in the summertime, and in the winter time it then gets a bit too puggy. So once we get the autumn rains and it really gets too heavy underfoot for the bulls, we turn it into a hog grazing block for the winter time. At any stage, summer or winter, we can get 100 mils overnight. Once we get over 100 mils of rain, these flats go under. The Motor River runs through the middle of it, and 3 rivers all converge just up above, which causes floods to go under. Sheep make up 50%. Out of the 50%, it would be 2/3 breeding operation and a third trading hoggers. They're just mixed age. They're coming in, we're going to take a pick off mum and then share the rest of the lambs and the ewes and wean. They go to the ram on the 1st of May and the lambs start hitting the ground 25th of September. The ewes in the last kind of 3 to 4 years have been scanning around the 210 mark consistently, but the docking tally varies depending on the weather. A lot of people say to me when they come and look at the farm, they say, gee, the old ewes are the poor cousins to the bulls, but you know, the bulls were paying their way. The ewes in the last couple of years have really started to perform, and probably all we're going to do there is just lighten them back a fraction and get better sized lamb out of them. We regrass probably 20 to 30 hectares in the autumn time, and then there's half the cropping land of 10 hectares is coming in the spring every year as well. All the hoggets go to the ram at 39 kilos average this year. Then they spend their whole winter rotating on new grasses that we direct draw in the autumn time. The dries out of them, we sell them in the winter time, so everything that's kept right through has a lamb. We've had 125 at scanning and we've slipped back to 90 now. The main reason is that we introduced Perindale ram to get a bit more easy moving sheep and better bone structure in the sheep. We did that for 5 years, and yeah, it's let our scanning slip a bit, but we've reached a point now where it's time to go back to a bit more fertility again. We're going back to the Highlander ram. We had the Highlander before the Perindale, so we're going back to what we know. Hoggets are all run to a terminal, usually South Suffolk ram goes over them. The terminal also goes out with about 40% of the main line, mostly selected on type and condition as well. Farmex does require a fair bit of time, but it's time that that can be done in the evening. The only thing you do is once a month I do a feed budget, but it's not necessarily just feed budgeting. We use it as a complete picture on the farm to map policies out for the different classes of stock to fit our feed curve.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.